Hey guys, Trip here, and I don't know what to make of this. If you've been following the channel for a while, you'd know that every now and then I like to talk about this weird little game called Kanye Quest and the strange, bizarre, silly, and kind of creepy secrets that are hidden within that game. Believe it or not, I get more requests to talk about this game than I do for anything else. I get DMs on Twitter, I get private messages on Reddit. Everywhere you can find Psycho Trip, I'm always getting people asking me, when are you going to talk about Kanye Quest? Well, I actually have been working on something kind of big and unique for the channel. I have been working on a collaboration project with two much bigger YouTubers who cover this sort of thing. And if that video isn't out by the time this video releases, then it will be out very soon. But yeah, so there's going to be more Kanye Quest stuff. You're going to be finding out more about what the hell is going on in this game, whether or not there's some creepy cult behind it, or if it's some elaborate prank. But in the meantime, while I was making this episode, some interesting things happened that are going to change the way we look at this game and the people we thought may have been behind it. Now, follow me here because this shit gets weird. Basically, I finally found out who was behind the Ascension Twitter account. You know, the weird record label that a lot of people, including myself, thought was somehow connected to the Kanye Quest game or the people who made it. I finally found out the guy who was behind it, and I had a conversation with him. Yeah, after years and years and years of this strange Twitter account, which seemed to be run by a bot, just spewing out strange gibberish that kind of looked like code words or something, but I could never make any sense of them, and releasing strange images that were like the most obvious alternate reality game stuff I've ever seen. Either that or the most corny cult stuff I've ever seen. Just after years of every single day posting a new tweet that was complete gibberish, or posting some bizarre news article that was vaguely creepy, and all the while claiming to be a record label that hadn't produced a new song that I could find within 2 years, they got in contact with me. I decided to follow them on Twitter for whatever reason, because I thought, oh, I'm not following Ascend today. That's the name of their Twitter handle. Let me do that. I'm gonna start talking about Kanye Quest again. Let's see. Within seconds, they followed me back. Within less than a minute, they started talking to me. As far as I know, this is the first time they've actually broken character, per se, and spoken to anyone in a normal-ish way. So let's get to the heart of this. Who are these people and what did we talk about? Remember in the Kanye Quest video when I mentioned a man named Nick Lyons? He's the guy who was doing all that weird music that I found with some sort of Ascension connection to it. That was, the stuff was created, at least the YouTube account was created in the same year as Kanye Quest, and with the Ascension theme connected to it, and the fact that the only stuff I could find on Ascension that wasn't related to Kanye Quest was from this guy. That's where I sort of got my connection between this record label, Ascension Records, which is apparently run by Nick Lyons, and Kanye Quest. So yeah, Nick Lyons is the guy behind the Ascension Records Twitter account, and I presumed Kanye Quest itself. According to Nick Lyons himself, that's not true. He claimed that he has nothing to do with Kanye Quest, and that was basically the only thing that he would tell me up front. And even then though, no, like if you look at some of this stuff, even then he was kind of vague about it. Like at first he didn't even want to, he just kept saying they were rumors and wouldn't say whether or not it was true. And it's the way that he's been responding to all this stuff that really throws me off even more. There's just this odd mixture of denial, taking offense, confusion, a seeming obliviousness to everything that's been going on for the past 5 years. All the people, not just me, who's been approaching them with, I'm sure, similar questions. How many of their followers on Twitter are only following them because they think this is part of the Kanye Quest ARG or whatever it is. There's just too much fishiness going on here. I honestly felt like if you read through the conversation, which we're scrolling down now, I honestly felt like I was being gaslighted. You know, that whole thing where the person tries to make you seem like you're the crazy one, defying all logic and reality. Like, this guy, it felt like this guy was trying to tell me that the sky was green when it was clearly blue, and I almost believed him. I kept waffling between kind of feeling bad for this guy, thinking that maybe this Ascension record thing that he runs just got caught up in the Kanye Quest hype and he's totally unrelated to it, and he's just now for some reason pushing back against it, and then coming back to reality and realizing that nothing he's saying makes any semblance of sense. Like, how do you reconcile, I guess this is what I'm trying to say, how do you reconcile your claim that you're just a regular record company that I guess just hasn't been active for 2 years until now with what you're seeing on your screen right now? Something here doesn't make sense. If we take Nick Lyons at his word, if none of this has anything to do with Kanye Quest, if they're completely oblivious to it, and if it was all just a coincidence, then what the hell is this? I can't make sense of this Ascension record shit, guys. If this isn't part of the Kanye Quest thing, then what is it? I'm not going to read out the whole conversation, but there's 3 things you should take away from this. 1, they refuse to give me a straight answer on anything. They keep claiming that I have the wrong idea about them, but they never give me a clear picture of the truth. I mean, they keep telling me that they're just a normal record label, but one look at their Twitter account would indicate that that can't be the case. Speaking of which, every time I ask them about the Twitter account, you know, the crazy gibberish they've been posting for 5 years, I get the same canned response. The tweets are, quote, for their followers, and I should ignore them. When I brought up the fact that I was following them on Twitter, therefore the tweets are for me as well, they never answered. Another strange thing is when I point blank asked them, is there some sort of spiritual component to what you're doing here? They outright refused to answer the question. It's one of the one straight answers I did get, in that it was very clear they did not want to give me an answer at all. The second takeaway is that they're feigning ignorance. Either that, or they're just outright refusing to tell me how much they know and why they know it. Because what it came across to for me during this conversation was that they don't seem to see the reason why so many people think something fishy is going on with these people. They don't seem to want to comprehend why somebody would see them as more than just a record label. Yet at the same time, they keep saying vague, bizarre things, like, again, talking about their followers. Like, at first I thought they were just talking about Twitter followers, but then once I referenced that I'm following them, they got all hush-hush. I mean, it almost feels like they're fucking with me. Like, they're asking me to come up with all of these weird explanations for the vagaries they keep spewing at me. But yeah, the level to which they are denying all this and trying to act oblivious despite all of the, I'm sure the vast majority of attention that these people have ever gotten has come from Kanye Quest, or people just in general thinking that there's something weird about these guys. I mean, just take a cursory look at their YouTube page or their Twitter account. Look at the comments that you see there. Look at some of the people who are following them and their own Twitter profiles. It's a lot of it are people who are in it for some sort of arg, or are making fun of them, or legitimately are saying, oh, I want to join your cult, or stuff like that. They can't not know that this has been going on, and if they do know, then they can't act like just now, just today, they've decided to set the record straight. Something's not right there. This brings me to my third and perhaps most unnerving takeaway from this conversation. They don't want this attention. So why is this weird? Well, if this were an ARG, this wouldn't be the case. ARG's alternate reality games, they run on the attention, both for, you know, the satisfaction of the person making them, and also just to keep them running. Interest needs to keep going for these interactive stories to progress in any way. So if anything, this kind of does add credence to what Nick is saying, that they're not related to any of this weird Kanye Quest stuff. But again, it just begs the question of why are they doing this? Why are they publicly putting this stuff on their Twitter account? Why have they been ignoring all of the people wondering who they are and why they're doing this until now. Most importantly, if this is just a record label, why haven't they made any music in the past 2 years? The only thing these people have produced is a series of questions and confusing pieces of gibberish that they throw out into the ether. Again, either they're fucking with us or something just doesn't add up. So what do we make of all this? Well, I have 3 theories about what might be going on with Ascension Records. Now, I want you guys to take this stuff with a grain of salt because I don't want to get mixed up in any more potential confusion or misinformation that I may be accidentally spreading. So everything I say from this point on is just my own personal theories, and I'm going to try and show you my reasoning for how I come to these potential conclusions. First theory, they're lying and they want out. What I mean by that is maybe these people did have something to do with Kanye Quest. Maybe they developed it directly, or maybe it was some side project from an associate, or maybe they just got pulled into it tangentially and went along with the whole arc, or whatever it is. They don't want to be a part of this anymore. That could possibly explain what's going on here. So let's say that the Twitter account has been run by a bot this whole time. Let's say that Ascension Records is a legitimate small-time record label, just an indie thing owned by Lyons, and just a venue for him to create and publish his music. That's all he wants it to be at this point. That's my first theory. That whatever was going on with Kanye Quest, whether it was an ARG or something more, he doesn't want anything more to do with that. He just wants to rebrand Ascension Records, make it into a legitimate thing. He even kind of implied this towards the end of our conversation. He kind of, in so many words, said that he was going to try and rebrand some things to make sure that this confusion doesn't continue. So that's my first theory. I don't see many other ways you can reconcile what we've seen from the Twitter account so far with Nick's current behavior. If that's the case, then the Kanye Quest ARG is essentially done. It's done. It's over. It was an abandoned project that Nick wants nothing to do with anymore. Second theory. This is just a continuation of the ARG. Now, the more I think about it, the less I believe in this theory, but I thought I should mention it anyway before getting to the last one. I actually legitimately thought that's what was happening when this conversation first started. I mean, if you just look at how the conversation begins, it's vague, it's kind of, threatening in a silly way. They're talking about videographic untruths. Who talks like that if they're not a part of a cult, for Christ's sake? Like, it just reeked of a story, an interesting story, but a story. And that's why I was kind of playing along at the beginning before I realized that this might be real and the person might be accusing me of spreading false information. That's why I was kind of being coy at the beginning, like, oh, define rumors and stuff like that, because I was playing along. So if this is the case, and this is all still part of some sort of Kanye Quest ARG, then I don't know what to make of this. This isn't very good work, because again, they're making it very clear they don't want this attention, or at least they're acting like they don't want attention. And the other reason why I don't really have that much credence in this theory anymore is because I don't want people to start harassing these guys in case they're legit and they really either have nothing to do with this, or they did and they don't want anything to do with it anymore. I don't want to even imply that I would want anybody to keep prodding them, keep asking them questions, at least not questions about Kanye Quest. Unless we find some proof that this is all a hoax, that they're lying to us and they really do have something to do with it, I don't want to encourage anybody to keep bothering them about that. I will say the other stuff that they're still doing, yeah, I think that's still fair game for us to ask them questions about, but I just wanted to make that part clear. But yeah, so that's the second theory, and again, in my head, I'm kind of going back and forth between not believing that at all to kind of being like, well, maybe, but no, for now, I'm leaning towards kind of nixing that theory, for now. Now, theory number 3 is honestly the one that I'm leaning towards the most, and it's kind of the most unnerving, because I wanted this to just be an ARG. I mean, like I said in the initial video, I was kind of leaning towards this being another alternate reality game, and I've always wanted to be a part of one of those. So that's one of the reasons why I've been so excited about this game and all the stuff that's been surrounding it. But if this isn't the case, if we take Nick at his word 100% completely, then this is even more fucked up and weird. What's going on with the Twitter account? What's going on with the music? What's going on with the images that they're releasing? What are these people doing if they have nothing to do with Kanye Quest? If the Ascension relation is either just a coincidence, or if the creators of Kanye Quest were trying to link themselves to this just to, hop onto the hype of whatever's going on with this. But again, let's take Nick at his word and say that they're totally separate. What are they doing? I have no answer for that. And that freaks me out more than anything a cartoon RPG about a rapper saving the future ever could. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I just wanted to keep you updated on this because so many of you are interested in this. I love the energy you guys are giving me. You guys are pushing me to keep investigating this, to keep talking about this. I feel like a game archaeologist whenever this whole Kanye Quest thing comes up, digging through articles and digging through code, and it's really fun for me, and I love this sort of thing. And by the way, while I've got you here, if any of you guys know any other games that are like this, that have these kind of weird ARG stuff behind it, please let me know, because I love this shit. I love that you guys love this shit, and I would love to do a lot more videos like this, because this channel, it's all about taking games too seriously in a certain sense. And what fits that ethos more than spending 20 minutes sounding like a conspiracy theorist trying to decode a game like Kanye Quest? So yeah, just if you see any more games like this, keep in touch with me. You can find me on Reddit, you can find me on Twitter pretty easily. I always try to answer you guys, even in the comments. I always try to answer you guys whenever I can. So that's all I got for this right now, guys. Now, if you want more, like I said, I did a collaboration video with the Elder Vault. He is another YouTuber. There was also, I believe, Nightmare Expo. He's actually a pretty big YouTuber, so I mean, this is kind of the biggest person I've worked with so far, so he was part of that video as well. We basically just pooled our thoughts together on Kanye Quest, what we know so far. You can find the link to the video on, well, it'll be in the description if the video is already released by this point. It most likely is, so check the description, see if it's down there, give it a click, and yeah, I'll be back next time we learn something more. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, Trip here. If you liked that video, why not watch some more? Hit that like button, and make sure to share this video on Reddit and social media. Have you ever wanted to wear my face like a grizzly pelt? Well, check out Rage On. There you'll find all sorts of Psychotrip merchandise to satisfy your grim needs. Come on, join my cult today. What do you have to lose? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.